Hello, you are very welcome to the channel. How much do you need to earn a month without working to legally live in Portugal? The official response will surprise you, less than much in statement. But attention, the number you see on the sites and Facebook groups is only half of the history. The consulate does not approve who only reached the minimum. He approves who proves the right story with the right documents, and the rules changed. The value rose the process was in the face of and the margin for error almost disappeared. I'm Alessandro Jacob. I'm a lawyer in Brazil and Portugal. And in this video, I will give you exact values, which counts as incomes, which makes a request to be denied, and the fiscal error that can turn your change into a nightmare. What is D7? D7 is the residence visa for onwits, the classic path of the retired, the hectant, and who lives with rentals and dividends. It's by far the most accessible entrance door to Europe. Does not require investment of hundreds of thousands of euros as the golden visa. Does not require work contract. Requires only that you provide that you are supported with passive, stable, and recurrent income. Approved the visa, you enter Portugal. You get the residence permit for 2 years, renewable for 3 more, and your family, spouse, and children can go together in the family reunification. After 7 years of legal residence, the path of Portuguese citizenship opens. Now the values. The minimum income of the D7 is indexed in the Portuguese minimum age, which is now 920 euros per month. Ben record these numbers. For you alone, 920 euros per month of passive income, about even 1,000 euros per year. For a couple, it's added 50% to the spouse, total of 1,300 and 800 euros per month. For even a smaller son, more 30%, 276 euros. A couple with a son, so 1,650 euros per month. And here comes the one that almost no talks. Besides monthly income, the authorities expect to see the equivalent of 12 months of this income deposited in Portuguese bank accounts before the request. For the applicant alone, about even 1,000 euros already in Portugal. For a couple, close to 17,000. This is not decorative savings, it's the test of livelihoods. And the absence of it fails weaken the process. But listen well, these values are the floor, not the goal. In practice, who proves only the minimum enters the risk zone. Process with income solutions and consistent documentation pass. Process at the limit generate demands, delays, and rejection. What counts as income? What does Portugal accept as passive income? Retirement or private pensions, real estate rentals, dividends and profits, financial investment, revenues. The income does not have to do all the month in the account. Same-train dividends or annual profit distribution are accepted, provided that the monthly average achieves the minimum and money to be transferable to Portugal. What does not count? Salary. Remote work is active income. For that there is a D8 visa nomad, which requires 4 minimum wages per month, almost 4 times more. Fit employment income in a D7 request is one of the most common and more fatal errors. And the golden rule of preference, the income needs existence officially. Received perks without contract and without statement in income tax does not exist for the consulate. All documentations, extracts, contracts, statements to go needs to tell the same history. Any contradiction is a warning and path sign for the rejection. How the process works? The process has 2 phases. First, in your home country, the visa application is now done in totally presented way through the global VFS. It was the era of the process of the distance with a margin to correct later. Winged document missing apostillation, wrong translation, refusal. You need NIA NIF, Portuguese bank account in Portugal with deposit, voucher of housing leasing, contract of 12 months, or property. Admit I emitted shots and acts to your people. The people offer can replace health insurance. Approved. The visa is worth 4 months for you to enter Portugal. Second phase, already in Portugal, the residence permit to the IMA, which today accumulates more than 100,000 processes. And here are details that turn crucial. The deadline for citizenship now only starts for the effective emission of the residence card. Each month of misguided process is a month more as required for the European passport. Now the fiscal error. Now the point that separates the amateur planning of the professional, the tax. The old regime of the consumer resident, which practically exempted foreign investment, was over. Today, who had seen tax resident in Portugal pays IRS about retirement through the progressive table, which will 13.48%. And the Brazilian side exists in the definitive fiscal output, which needs to be done in the way and right now whoever changes without planning the risk of double taxation. Even existed with a treaty between your country and Portugal. To avoid it, because the treaty protects which the structure, not who's improvise. The change of mind needs to be made before change. Then, was the strategy had seen injury. In moving 920 euros per month for the holder, 1,308 for the couple, a year of income deposited in Portuguese bank, predictive income declared and documentation without any contradiction, more fiscal planning made before embarking. The D7 continues to be the most accessible path to live legally in Europe, but a scenario which Portugal cures the rule each year. The difference between approval and rejection is the technical quality of the process. Our office operates in Brazil and Portugal and leads up to GIP from tip to tip. Analysis of the feasibility of its income, documentation structure, NIF, bank account, villa request, and in the consulate in the Portuguese phase in the IMA, along with the tax planning of the exit of your home country. The link is in the description. Send your source of income and composition of your family, and we make the analysis of your case. And subscribe to the channel, because every week I bring the real change in the laws of Portugal and Brazil. I'm Alessandro Jacob, and thanks a lot for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.